This week, superstar athlete is Rylee Steward, junior middle blocker on the volleyball team, who put together a single game record 13 blocks against nationally ranked Texas Wesleyan last week. And Rylee, that 13 block performance, what went into that? What was working for you in that game? Just what can you tell us about that game?
Before that game, we spent a lot of time the previous week scouting out Texas Wesleyan, watching film over them, and then in practice really working on our communication at the net between me and like the middles and the two pin blockers that we have up there. So I think during that game, everything was just kind of flowing together. Like all of the hitters were talking really well, the pins were setting up blocks really well for the middles to close out to, and we were reading the setter very well. And so I think it's just like a combination of everything just working together really like awesomely.
After that game, you were awarded with not only the Conference Defender of the Week, but the National Defender of the Week. First time an OCU non-libero has been named to those awards. When you found that out, what was going through your mind? What did you think about that?
I thought it was really cool. I texted my coach and I said, "OMG, wicked!" So cool. So, I mean, it's really awesome to get that accomplishment, especially with all of like the amazing like defensive players that we do have like nationally and in the conference. Just to be like picked out at the top of that is really, really cool, especially like as a blocker. So.
You talked about it a little bit, but what has to go into the defensive mindset to be able to play that well at the net and get those 13 blocks?
A lot of it is just really focusing like on your spacing at the net and making sure that you're pressing and just having like the mindset that like they're not gonna hit around me, like I'm gonna touch it and it's gonna go down. And then just really like paying attention to everything that's happening on the other side of the net, reading your hitters, reading your setters, and just like, I think confidence above all else. Like going into the Texas Wesleyan game, I was feeling very confident in myself, and I was like, I want to beat how many blocks I've had previously this season tonight. And so I went in with that mindset that like I was going to do well, and I think that really translated into how I played.
You've had an expanded role on this team this year. How did you prepare coming into this season?
So my past 2 seasons, I had upperclassmen that played a bit more above me, and so coming into this season as like one of the starting middles, I put in a lot of work over the summer during preseason and off-season last semester, just really like working one-on-one with my coach and just really trying to like jump into like the upperclassman role that I have right now and making sure that I'm prepared for what this season has.
You've also been a track and field athlete before. How did that prepare you as an athlete, and what events did you compete in?
So in high school, I competed in the 400, the 4x4, and I high jumped. And I think that high jump is the one that prepared me the most. It really helped me like with my jumping ability, my explosiveness, and really being able to like know my body whenever I'm jumping. And so I think that that kind of played like a huge role. And then just like track meets are very much like one-on-one. It's not really like a whole team aspect like volleyball is, and so I think that that kind of helped me like build the confidence in myself as an athlete and knowing that like I can do it, and I think that that helps like translate into how I play volleyball.
What went into you coming here to OCU?
I really liked Kristen as a coach first and foremost, and then I really liked the location. So I'm from Edmond, which is about 30 minutes north from here, and so just being like close to all of my friends and my family, and I wanted a smaller school with a higher education, and so OCU like provided that perfectly for me.
What's your major?
Exercise sports science.
What kind of career plans do you have for yourself after college?
I plan on going to grad school to be a chiropractor.
All right, that's Rylee Steward. You can follow the stars on OCUsports.com. Chatting with OCU rowing coach Cory Conzemius. The Stars get the season started at the head of the Oklahoma Regatta. And Coach, season's starting pretty quick. How have preseason workouts been going?
It's been good. You know, we've got a lot of new athletes this year, so just kind of getting everyone in sync together, and you know, they're excited for the season.
Tell us about the head of the Oklahoma, what events you guys will be competing in. I know that you've won the Norick Cup for 5 years running, the Schnittman Cup for 6 of the last 7. So just look forward to the event for us.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to test out our speed as we go into the season. We'll be facing up against some of our top teams in the Central and Colorado regions. So we're looking to see how our speed is compared to last year and where we've improved and where we can improve as we go along the season.
One of the things that people look forward to most about the Head of the Oklahoma is the night sprints. Tell us about the atmosphere and how unique that event is.
Night sprints is unlike anything else. Last year was my first year experiencing it, and you just have 500-meter sprints under the football stadium lights. It really brings out kind of that football feeling of Friday Night Lights to our sport, and that's awesome for our fans, and it draws spectators a lot more than you would typically see.
Let's look back to last season for a moment. The Dad Vale Regatta, you guys had 4 medals in that event. Ruthie Lacey captured the women's collegiate single among those. How did you feel about your team's performance in the Dad Vale last year?
We had a small team going in, so it was really specializing as we went throughout the year, building in our sculling boats as well as the men's 4. I think we were all pretty pleased with our performances at Dad Vale's. It showed the training that we put in through the season.
And what about in the IRA championships in June? I know your varsity 4 was finished 17th in that event. So tell us about those races also.
IRAs, you have the best of the best at that race. There's no hiding behind anyone. For us, it was a good learning experience. We had a young group that went, and it showed them where we can build off of. So it was a good platform to learn from as we go into this year.
Speaking of Ruthie Lacey, she has a pair of world records to her name. What went into her performances, and how has she come close to being those record holders?
Ruthie hit those performances before I came to OCU, but I think her determination to improve as an athlete, improve as a rower, that's how she achieved those. She's constantly in our boathouse working multiple hours a day. Working with our high performance program as well, and you can understand why that has led to her accomplishments to date.
Turning back to this year's team, tell us about some of the newcomers you have. I know among your newcomers is the son of the founder of the program. Mike Knopp's son Keaton is on the team, so tell us about him and some of the other newcomers that you've got on your team.
Yeah, we're really excited to have Keaton join us. Coming in as a local athlete, we're trying to build our program through a lot of the local rowers. So we're hoping that starts a trend for the future. He's part of what I brought in as a very enthusiastic, energetic bunch that was came in to build a culture. And that's exactly what we've got. We've got a lot of energy behind the team this year, and it's thanks to all of our freshmen.
Tell us about your coaching history and what shaped your coaching philosophy.
I've been coaching now at many levels, from youth to collegiate for 14, 15 years now. I think it's just been watching sports in general grow over that time and what works from a coaching standpoint and kind of progressing as I go. I think it's really about having fun, about the development of the athletes. You start with that, you start with the culture, you combine the coach's knowledge with the athlete's knowledge and work together, and that creates the best atmosphere for us to all succeed.
What's unique about OCU?
Yeah, I think for us, it's the opportunity to scull at the collegiate level. Most collegiate programs are all about the 8, but we focus a lot on small boats, we focus a lot on sculling, and that will be something we carry with us for the future. I believe it's great development for the athletes and allows them to achieve their long-term goals.
All right, that's OCU rowing coach Cory Conzemius. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.